All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right. Well, I want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to talk to us a little bit here today, Mr. Melvin.
From
First of all, I'll give a little bit of an introduction. This is Mr. Rocky Melvin. He has been with the Fayetteville Comic Con since the beginning. I remember my first day walking through the door and seeing him in his Iron Man costume. Um,
yeah,
I've got to ask, what got you into doing cosplay and what got you to go into the scale that you do? I mean, people like me, we might do the simple spandex costumes, a mask, and a little bit of armor, but you go full out with some exciting, awesome costumes. What got you into it?
I believe it was about 12 years ago. I went to Animazement for the first time, and I just went as a guest. I didn't. My girlfriend was like, "Hey, there's this comic convention. I ain't never really been to one. I wasn't exposed to it, but I've been a nerd my whole life." When I went to that first con, it was like this overwhelming feeling. I didn't know what that was at the time, but after leaving, it was like, I don't know. I guess I just found my people, found where I was supposed to be. So I just went home and I seen some people online that had some Iron Man suits, and I was like, well, I want to make me an Iron Man suit. So I made my nephew one first as like a trial run, and then I made one, and then ended up making two because I wanted it to, look good. I wanted the helmet to come up and down. I seen that regular people were doing stuff like this, and I just started going to cons, listening, taking notes, going on YouTube pretty much, and just learning everything I can, and then getting in there and doing it because you don't really learn until you get in there and start doing it.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know, I wanted to be in a contest and I wanted to win a contest. That's what I wanted to do. I went to the contest, I watched it, and I was just blown away and overwhelmed with emotions. I came home that night and I was like, I'm making me an Iron Man suit, and she was like, okay.
I, I can understand that excitement. I went there myself. I've done the store bought costumes, but nothing felt as good as it did when I was walking last year for the first time in a homemade costume. So I can completely understand where you're coming from.
And
How
I
much?
can't fit in nothing. Like I couldn't go buy nothing to fit me because I'm so big. So I'm like already had to make my own stuff anyway. And I was a little nervous about doing Iron Man because I loved Iron Man, but I was because I'm so big. But I didn't care. Whatever, just be a big Iron Man.
And that's one thing that I'm learning and have been learning for the past few years since starting, because Fayetteville Comic Con is like my first real con experience, and it's what I love. Um, I'm learning that you, as well as the Fayetteville Comic Con cosplay community as a whole, is very accepting and very
Oh yeah, they're
little to
all.
no judgment on body size, anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean,
that's
I've heard stuff here and there, but you know, and I guess that's why I do big robot suits because I'm like insecure about how big I am. I don't look like Superman and Batman because those are my favorite growing up, and I'd love to do Superman, but I would never do a Superman. I'm not walking around in tights and doing that to y'all.
well, you
So I
could
make big robot suits so you can't see how big I am.
possibly pull off the Batman in the armor
Yeah,
with
the big one, Dark Knight.
yeah
Yeah,
with that's more armor and less tights because I understand. I always
yeah.
when putting on the tights, especially, I'm the opposite. I'm so small that I'm like, no, no, no. It don't feel right. Um, how do you pick the characters you do? I mean, I've seen your Iron Man, your Optimus Prime, the Hell's
Iron
Angel
Man was
descent.
like my test run. He was so popular at the time, and I really wanted to make an Iron Man suit, and I was like, I could cover my whole body, then nobody could see me, as Iron Man. And then the next one had to be something I love, so I did Voltron because I loved Voltron growing up. That's kind of what got me into anime and big cartoon or big robots and stuff. And after I did Iron Man or Voltron, then I did Optimus because I was ready. I felt like, all right, my skill set's good enough. I'm gonna try to do Optimus and try to make his chest open. Like I had all these ideas that I tried to put forth. And then after that, I did the Gundam Wing because I love Gundam Wings, and I met Uber Cosplay and by his Gundams. So I did a Gundam Wing. And then after that, I said I wanted to do something big and something unique and something, different, something hard. So I wanted to challenge myself. So when I was seeing the Bumblebee movie, I was like looking at Starscream or Blitzwing in the movie. He rips Bumblebee's throat out, and that was kind of that moment. I was like, ooh, he looks very difficult and complex and big, and I had to learn to walk on stilts for a year before I would even attempt it. So I got me some stilts. Sorry. I was at a con in Charlotte, and I won the costume contest, and then I won this little certificate, and I took it to the costume guy, and he had a pair of stilts sitting there, and he told me that I could trade them stilts for that card. So basically, I won those stilts, and then I went home and started practicing. It took me about a year where I felt confident enough to build a suit, and then that was a whole nother year of practice walking around with that thing on. So it was a big ordeal, but I did it.
And you were amazing, and I remember when you pulled up last year, we were setting up, and everyone was like, "Oh, Rocky's got something big surprise for us to jump." Oh, a surprise! So, and we were all just hoping you would try it on the night before the con, so we can get the little preview. So, and I remember seeing the kids and young and old running up to you and wanting the picture taken, and I know that had to feel great for you, especially those of us with low self-esteem, to be accepted, and not only accepted, but to be sitting there and people rushing towards you. It's got to be an experience for you.
It is. That's why I go. I mean, I love going and seeing the people, for one, the kids. I love it when people come up and they're like, is that real? Is there a man in there? Is that a robot? They think it's real, a lot of people, and that's the best part right there. And because I'm an artist too, and I love to draw and paint and all that stuff, cartoons, like I can do pretty much any medium. In my whole life, I've just went from one medium to the next. And cosplay is like a combination of all the mediums, and it's not really regarded as art yet, but I'm telling you, it is one of the best art forms out there. You're like, whether you're doing your own custom thing or you're recreating something, it's just, I don't know, it ain't respected as it should be yet. Cosplay is art. It's just another form of art that you can put on, walk around. I would like to maybe even do like a art show one day and have all my suits on statues and maybe a bunch of my artwork and everybody come to see. That was an idea I was thinking of doing.
That would be amazing, and I would probably try to be one of the first ones in line to get in to see it.
Sweet. I appreciate it.
Now these costumes, they're so big and extravagant. I mean, I'm a Transformers fan myself.
Oh, you gotta look.
Oh, wow. My wife would not allow me to do it.
They're all Transformers.
My wife would not.
I'm a big nerd.
We just moved, so I'm trying to get mine set up.
Transformers.
We just moved. I'm trying to get mine set up. I mean, even when you get to my Ghostbusters up here, I even have a Transforming Ecto-1, so had to have Transformers incorporated in everything.
I got him somewhere in here too. Yeah, I seen him at a con. I had to have him.
Oh yeah.
And the next one I want is the DeLorean. They got the DeLorean Transformer out next. That's who I want to get.
I'm with you on that one, and that brings me to another point. I wanted to be. I don't know if you saw. I put up a post last October. Me and some of the others were looking at doing a TikTok contest for the cosplay lip sync battle that we'd have at Fayetteville Comic Con. And every year the plan is to have a trophy designed by Delvicio Coleman. You've met him at the con, I'm sure. Wonderful cosplay artist, very great. Just as you two would probably get along great with building costumes, but we're designing the first trophy each. I got it messed up there on myself, but we want to design each year a different trophy to honor one of our cosplayers. You have been chosen as the first one. It would be the Rocky, and it will be I bought just for this trophy an Earthrise Optimus Prime with the opening chest and everything, and Delvicio Coleman is designing the Rocky trophy, and put a microphone in his hand and have Optimus Prime singing as a trophy representing you.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I'm
That is
serious.
cool.
I've already give. I tried to have it done by this con, but it didn't work out. So we're gonna plan it out till October. So maybe in October, maybe we can get you on stage to hand out the first Rocky.
Okay, I would definitely do that. That would be awesome. That
Oh.
would be great. That's so cool.
Um, Now we're gonna go into what advice do you have to people that are looking into cosplay, whether it's on a large scale like you do or the smaller scale? What's your advice to someone trying to get into this art form?
Mm, my advice would be to just, you can't look at what I'm doing because I've been doing it 10 years and be like, well, I can't do that, so I don't want to do it. You got to just pick something you love, and whether you want to go as hard as you want or if you want to just half do it. But I think everyone should at least try to make it. Try to make your costume. Try to go buy the parts. And because this journey on trying to learn how to do all these things has taught me so much about myself and my kids and just life. And learning new stuff that you're scared to do is like that's the best part of it. Like every day is a challenge. You learn something new that you can apply and just do your best and don't worry about what other people are doing and put your costumes on and be proud when you wear them and go around and show them to everybody. I try to when anybody comes and show me something, I just try to because I appreciate the work. I know the work that goes into it. So when I see somebody with a phone helmet that they've made that they're showing me. I had a little kid. The best thing ever was this little kid at one of the cons. I can't remember, but he had seen me, and then he came back the next year with a Gundam wingsuit that he made. His dad told me that. He said, "Yeah, he seen you," and then he went home and made this suit, and it was so impressive. And I just went, all out for him to make him feel good because I know that's why he did that. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's got to be awesome to inspire like that. And not only,
Oh,
man, you are living a nerd dream. We were all kids. We all played these characters, but we always tried to play characters that we couldn't really pull off. Transformers, Gundam, Voltron, Transor Z, or Mazinger Z, whichever one name you want to go with.
yeah.
These these were characters we couldn't pull off the look because you're supposed to be a giant robot, but you're actually able to now come out and pull these looks off like we dreamed we could do as a kid. That has got to be
Yeah.
such a feeling.
Oh, it's amazing. Um, and I would love to maybe make some patterns or something like that. Like I could pattern all this stuff out. I don't really use patterns. I kind of freestyle when I work. I like I usually make stuff out of cardboard because it's cheap and it's free, and I get it from the post office, and I cut it up and I glue it all together. And once I got my shape, then I'll either add fiberglass and resin to it. My first suits were very heavy, and I was learning that the heavier, the less you can wear it. So from my first suit to this suit, it's night and day. Like I've gotten way better at making them light and making them look good too. Like I use car paint. And I take a long time too, especially with designing. Like this one, when I thought of it, the Blitzwing, the new one, the Blue Angel, because he was going to be the Blitzwing at first, and then I was getting close to having him done, and I didn't have his helmet done yet, and I wanted to do something different, and I fell out of love with it for 6 months, because that's the hard thing too. When you pick something, you gotta love it, and you gotta love it for a long time. So I fell out of love with it. And then I don't know who gave me the idea or what. I seen a Blue Angel thing on TV, and I was just like, oh, what if one of the Decepticons scanned a Blue Angel plane? And then that kind of re-sparked my inspiration, and then I got through it, and got to the end. And now he is just the helmet right here.
Oh yeah, and the light ups, it's just outstanding. And as a member of a veteran and member of the military community, I do want to say we do appreciate you honoring our airmen, our soldiers, our Marines, and our sailors in these kind of homage that you did with this Transformers costume of Blitzwing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I went to a few Blue Angel shows when I was a kid, and then when my kid was 3, I took him to one. So it just because it reignited my excitement for it, I said, "Oh, this is what I got to do." So it was kind of like my own spin on it, and I just think it would be so cool if, like, the next Transformers movie, they had one of them in there. That would be pretty amazing.
Uh,
If a Blue Angel plane, you know.
and I mean, your notoriety isn't just here in North Carolina and the Fayetteville area. I want to point out that I was on TikTok a few months ago. Found an amazing cosplayer like yourself doing Soundwave. I cannot remember his name. I wish I did. I
Oh
could
yeah,
have
his name is he's my friend. His name is I think it's BM Biz, but I can't remember his TikTok name. It's like BMB. But I've met him. I've actually gotten pictures taken with him. I've
Yeah,
lost you there. Are we still on?
yeah, we're still on. It looks like your internet froze up. I can hear you still. Can you still hear me?
But I don't see you. I know what happened. Hold on.
Uh, Hopefully my internet hasn't froze up again. I think it might be my internet.
Okay.
As long as we can still hear, we're going to go on with it.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, but I talked to him. I said, I'm in the Fayetteville Comic Con community. I volunteer there. He's like, oh, you know Rocky. So I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went up to Philadelphia and met all them because they're all from Philadelphia. So I believe it was the Philadelphia Comic Con. I was invited up by the Smoke, Moran.
Oh, yeah. He,
He invited me up. He was running the con, and I got to meet Connie and Law. He's the guy that founded the Paladins of Cosplay. And when I got there, they all had giant robot suits. Like, I was the little one because the guy that you're talking about that did the Soundwave, before that he did a Ironhide from the movie. That was incredible.
yeah, I've seen that costume.
And
It
he,
looks
he
great.
kind of gave me some tips on how to, walk on stilts and stuff like that. Because they all walk stilts because they're all shorter than me. And my thought was like, well, they're smaller than me, so if I could get on stilts and as tall as I am, then I could be really big.
Oh, yeah. And
Oh, and Tom at Extreme Costumes too. He was a big inspiration for me too. His Hulk Buster.
oh, yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, he's also done stuff for. I think he's got Logan Paul's robot. He made Logan Paul's robot, the big problem bot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big inspiration and helps me a lot online with stuff. And that just goes back to the community being so amazing. People willing to give you information, and like anybody that's ever called me or asked me, I just tell them what I do and give them as myself as I can because a couple of people have done the same for me in this community.
Oh, yeah. And it's just, for me, it's really amazing seeing all the support and some of the cosplayers. Like one of the interviews I did over the weekend, the ladies were sitting there, Dami Dahmer. We had spoke extensively back in October about costumes and all, and she's a lot of the cosplayers like yourself, like her, are willing to help those coming up, the newbies, instead of being harsh or anything. Just give the advice, show them what they might need to tweak without being harsh or just blowing them off or anything. And we thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to support them, and I'm like the only big giant robot cosplayer around here, so it's kind of lonely. I want other people to get in it. I would help someone build a giant suit if they were willing to. I've had a couple people call me, but I kind of live about an hour away from Raleigh, so it's just hard to commit to doing something so big and have to drive hour. I can't make a whole suit for somebody, but I would jump right in there and teach them all I know.
Well, I may end up taking you up on that because I plan on getting back to my
Let's do it.
my original plan
Let
before I went to Skeletor was to do Megatron, but the whole COVID thing had knocked me off, and I was just like, we never knew when Comic Con was going to be until it was right there. It was
I
time to be
know
go.
it was so depressing. Gosh, almost 2 years I haven't put the last con wasn't the last Fayetteville con like in October last year.
Yeah,
I think it was October,
we had one in October.
and that was the first time I had been to a con in 2 years. And I put my big giant Blue Angel suit on, and then I had a malfunction with one of my stilts, so I couldn't really walk around in it. I just kind of put it and took it as a test run, and I needed to go back home to fix some stuff, like bolt the boot to it, so I didn't feel confident, so I really wasn't there that long. But this year I'll be there in full force. I got it all worked out. I've been practicing, so I won't be walking all over there in that big suit. Everybody's going to see me this year.
We look forward to seeing you there. I'm going to get ready to wrap this up because I know you probably got a busy schedule. Is there anything else you would like to throw out there? Anything at all to the cosplay community and the Fayetteville Comic Con community before we wrap this
Well,
up?
I love Fayetteville Comic Con community. Everybody that goes there, Fayetteville, Keith, Gibbs, all them have treated me with nothing but love and respect. And I appreciate everything they do for me, letting me be a part of the con every year. I mean, I just love the Fayetteville Con. That's my home field advantage right there. That's my con, and I love it, and I appreciate everybody that comes and that comes to my booth and shows me love, and I just really appreciate every one of you guys. Love y'all. Like, I love this community.
Well, the community loves and supports and appreciates everything you do for us.
Oh, I appreciate that. We still seeing video? I wanted to show you my new helmet I had just made. Can you see me?
No, unfortunately, I think it's my internet. I can pick up.
Yeah.
I have.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
I have CenturyLink. If you would like to, you could send me a picture of that new helmet on Messenger, and I can put it in the video with this interview.
Okay. I'll do that.
Because everyone looks forward to seeing whatever you're designing next because you have some great costumes.
Well, this next thing I tried to do is I tried to make something for someone else, so I made a helmet to sell. And if you've ever seen Star Wars, I want to do something Star Wars. So that new Star Wars Visions, that animated anthropology series that just came out,
yes,
where
sir.
Each one's like a different show. Well, there's one episode called Twins. And in that episode, you got like a female Darth Vader. So I made kind of like a female Darth Vader helmet. And I'm going to try to sell it at the con this year.
Ooh, yeah. Send a picture. Maybe it'll give you free advertisement with putting it on the video.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll go quick.
Yep. I'll send you a picture as soon as we get off. I can send you a short little video too to kind of show you. Because when you span the camera around, you see how shiny it is.
That would be great. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get ready to stop the video here. And I want to thank you for taking your time to come on here and talk with us a little bit. And
no problem.
We do appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Yep, I'll see you there, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.